Auckland Regionals recap. So I went over last week. If you can tell, I'm a little bit tired. We just got back like last night, and I had the most horrific flight back because I was hungover already. So bear with me. Hopefully, I don't have to edit this too much. But I didn't actually take any B-roll of the actual event itself. I just forgot. I kind of didn't feel like it at the time. I might splice in some B-roll of us actually hanging out on our little holiday over in New Zealand.
These fucking bastards. They keep following us.
Just to give you something to watch other than me kind of looking down and up all the time. But other than that, let's just talk about how the Auckland regionals went. First off, I just want to say to everybody I met, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. I genuinely enjoy having a good yap, like meeting new people and just having a good time with the players and the community as always. Everybody is so nice. It's always awesome. To basically just have people come out and be like, "Oh, it's you! What's up, man? How you doing?" And then it's a dap, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's just talk. I don't know who the fuck you are, but let's have a chat." I like that because I got the gift of the gab, as we say in Australia. Basically, it was just fun. I met new players, which was cool as well. People who hadn't really been playing much time in general, like they said. Shoutouts to Kane. It was his first TCG from what he told me. He'd only been playing for 5 months. And honestly, I basically just went to time having a fucking chat. And so, yeah, as always, the community, you guys do it right and do it right by me. Everybody, I love so much that everybody's always happy to have a yap to me. Next up, let's talk about the actual event itself, which, yes, you did hear a bit of an exasperated sigh. The venue was nice. I really like the venue, the Aotea Center, which is like this massive theater. It's really nice. It was spacious. You didn't really have to deal with bumping into players. Had enough space on the tables, except on the tables, I remember I kept getting put on the end of the tables, and the table had this diagonal leg to it, and I would just constantly kick it. It was the fucking worst, I'm gonna be honest. But I don't know who to put the blame on for this. I had a little bit of a chat with some people who kind of are within the organizations, I'll just say TAC and Bandai kind of shit the bed on this one for the most part. So we not fully their own fault. It just is kind of what it is, I suppose. I can't exactly remember why one of these things that I'll talk about in a second happened, other than the event being created and then it just is that way, and then TAC can't change it, for example. But I'll start first with the fact that the event started at 3 p.m. because One Piece is the bigger bag. I get it. I understand. We started at 3 p.m. because there was 300 or something One Piece players, and they're playing at 9 a.m., running that shit, going crazy, having a good time. And then 3 p.m. finally rolls around, and there's 55, 60 players or something for Digimon, which is kind of to be expected. I understand. One Piece is the bag. So TAC had it at 3 p.m. It was shitty because finishing up, and it feels like 10:30. Or sorry, starting at 6:30 and then going until 10:30 feels fine now because that's just something you do for your locals. Starting at 9 a.m. for an event feels great because you finish at kind of, past lunch, 4 o'clock-ish usually. Then you can go eat and you're done. This 3 p.m. in the middle was terrible. I'm not going to rant too much about it because, I don't want to yap for 25 minutes. But keep that in mind. 55, 60 players or so, if I recall. I came 25th. I played pretty shit because I hard pivoted last minute. like always, from Gas to Gilgrow Phoenix, which was a deck I felt all I had to do was shake the rust off, because I'd played a lot of the like the bird stuff. I'm a birds player. I really enjoy the deck, and playing it with the Gilgrow Rush stuff was really no different. It's just a lot more output of damage, and I had my like confidence a little bit shattered in Gas like prior to the event. I think a one locals prior, because I went 2-2 at a very, very casual locals, and I was a little bit upset about that, because like the only reason that happens is because I break, and it just is what it is, I suppose. I probably should have stuck to Gas. I had more matchup knowledge, and that was significantly my problem on Gilgrow Phoenix, was I didn't have a very, very extensive matchup knowledge. So shaking the rust off and playing the combo, easy peasy. Knowing what to do against most decks, and things that were built to counter me, for example, Zephyr, I've shit the bed. That's all. That's all there is to it. I fucked up. But that does kind of lead me to wanting to really, really pivot to making sure that probably coming up to the Brisbane Regionals, I am going to stick to one deck, hopefully, and play it as much as possible. The caveat to that right now is I won't say like what I'm playing, but I need to make sure that I find a build that is good to start with, and that's kind of difficult because I'm playing something pretty off meta. I will say that. I might do a video about it, because I'm hyper obsessed about it right now, and I am already like 4 or 5 builds deep into that, and that shit is like it's so much fun. It's something we've talked about on the channel before. Maybe people know me for it. If you know who I am, then you probably know what I'm talking about anyway, but I don't know. I'll leave it a little bit vague now. If I talk about it, it's going to be a really good video, because again, 4 or 5 builds I've gone through just to figure out what I'm going to be like continuing with. There's so many moving pieces to this deck. Sorry for like absolutely tangenting there. I have a little bit of notes going on here, but as you can see, I've broken free from my notes already. Basically, yes, my matchup knowledge was shit. Round 1, we went to time, and I conceded to my opponent because we found out... Guess what? There's no draws in this event. If you played any other Bandai game, like Gundam, for example, you'll know having to report a timeout, which is basically a double loss. That's right. We had double loss timeouts at the event. So fucking awesome. Now, this is what I'm kind of talking about, where I don't know who's to blame. I know that Bandai is kind of the issue here, because what happens is they set the event months in advance, and then TAC just has to deal with that a lot of the time. So I can't really give TAC shit for this one. I can only talk mad shit on Bandai, as always. But yeah, like double time loss. If you don't know, if you haven't been following like the Yu-Gi-Oh scene at all, they are going through this right now, where essentially if you go to time, you will have a this sort of period. You'll like, when time is called, double loss. And there is this ongoing kind of discussion at the moment already about like, because it is better to concede to your opponent or have them concede, like one of you has to concede essentially, because your win percentages are absolutely obliterated if you take a double loss. And so you are kind of incentivized to do this really, really dog shit gameplay of just being like, hey, I know I can't win in this amount of time, and I know that if I gave your turn back to you, you wouldn't be able to win either. What are we doing? Are you going to concede to me? I can win if I keep going. And you just have to like argue with your opponent about this, one of you conceding so that it's better for both of you, but it's worse for one of you. That's a whole discussion for other YouTubers who have done a very, very good job of it in the Yu-Gi-Oh space. But like, holy shit, I was like, thank God we don't have that here in Digimon. And then for it to turn around and just be accidentally implemented, just like boom, nightmare. I was just like, oh no, I understand why this is a fucking problem. It's terrible. I won't get into my 4 rounds because, to be honest, I find that the kind of like it's just me, but like I find that the kind of round by round talk gets a little bit monotonous. I could be like, oh, round two, I played against Effica. I kept walking into the ace because unfortunately for the deck that I was playing, it was kind of a something that had to be done. I could not. There's ways I could play around it, but again, matchup knowledge, blah blah blah, and I could just talk about that round by round. You know, maybe I should, but for now, I don't feel like it. I played like shit. Let's leave it at that. I came 25th, but more importantly, Nick got the bag. He came first on Purple Hybrid again, which fantastic. I say again, I think it's the first time because he's been chasing that first for ages, and yeah. Congratulations to Nick. That was fantastic. And so I got to walk up immediately and go, well, buddy. You know what I came here for. And he said, yes, Dane, I know. I gotta pay the tax. And then I said, hand him over. Give him to me now. Now I paid for him. I bought 2 champion Alphamons. This is kind of a bit of a grail for me at the moment. I'm really I'm loving this card. It's it's too funny to just like be mid combo through alpha, digivolve into him and be like, champion, by the way, and then just keep moving forward. Like, it's fun. I love that a lot. But that was the goal. I did post a little bit about it on I think Twitter and like on a short as well. But that was the goal for me to go to Auckland regionals, was just to buy. Like, I would have liked to have won, but I think my expectations were in the sense that I was going to buy the Alphamons. So shout outs to Nick for giving me those. What else do I have to talk about here? Basically, after that, we had the Gundam the next day, and Gundam starts at 9. Gundam was a lot of fun. I was surprised with how well I did. I definitely could have top 16, and I'll kind of get into that, which basically I went like, lost my first game, and then I don't remember if I won my first or second, or my second or third game, but, you know, won one, lost one, and then I had a insane run back halfway through the Gundam event. TAC announces Ultimate Cup. Awesome, sick. I'm so glad I didn't bring my Digimon deck with me because I thought I was just going to be playing I thought I just was going to be playing Gundam. So I got up from one of my games and just fucking sprinted back to my hotel, and I just was like I was out of breath by the time I came back. Like, full sprint, got back as the next round was starting, sat down. I'm like, hey man, look, I'm honestly, if this goes a little bit too long, I'm just gonna concede, and I'm just gonna go play fucking Digimon over there, because like I don't really care about playing Gundam all that much. I just want to play Digimon, and yeah, I said that to him. 5 minutes, walked over him. I was playing Blue Green Rush. I felt horrible because he played very respectfully, very quickly for me, kind of clearly, and he just did not see shit. And I just went bang, 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 dead. Got up, went straight to the desk, registered for Digimon. I did not realize that it was like only like 12 players for the Ultimate Cup. Lo and behold, when you announce an event on your Discord stealthily out of nowhere in the middle of the day, of course it's going to be 12 players. Fucking hell, man. Or 11 or some shit. Anyway, so I basically just, in my brain, was like, oh, I'll concede the next game. And then I sat down to play Digimon, started first round, and I think I finished up my first round, and then I looked at my phone to see like my rank, like just mindlessly scrolling, and I looked at my rank for Gundam, and I was fucking 14th at that point. 14th out of like, I don't know how many people were playing Gundam. It was a lot. There were so many tables filled. I think they had to do 2 pods because there were that many players. But literally, I was 14th on the 5th round, and then going into the 16th I conceded essentially because I just didn't show up, because I think in my brain I was like, oh, if I retire, it's worse on my percentages, yada yada. So I'm just gonna not show up. My opponent can take the win, and I get to walk away with whatever. because I got my participants anyway. But yeah, so I got my participants and the what's the other one as well, which is really nice. Apparently, this is a really expensive card, which is cool. The funny thing about that is knowing that if I just didn't play Digimon, I probably could have made top 16. I was on a tear and I was doing very well. The difference is unfortunately that I didn't realize that I was already top 16 in Digimon for signing up. Silly. But oh well. So all in all, I really enjoyed playing Gundam. I really enjoyed playing Digimon, hanging out with everybody. Had a lot of fun. I'm excited to play some more Digimon now than I was before. I think like right after the event, we had our holiday and a significant portion of it. I was thinking about this deck I really want to play, and I will sneak peek. It might not surprise you if you're this far in. Look, it got a new promo revealed for it like the day after the regionals. And I was like, oh, this card's really good for this deck. So if, yeah, I think it'll be pretty easy to guess. So whatever. But comment down below if you can guess what it is that you think I'll probably play for the next regionals. Again, I have ADHD diagnosed, by the way. There's a really high chance I get bored before October 20 something. So I'm trying my best to stick to one deck. There may be a point where I get bored, but I'm really enjoying it for now. Anyway, if you're this far in, like, comment, subscribe. And I guess there's not really much else for me to talk about, to be honest. Like, we had a really fun time on our little holiday afterwards. You're probably, hopefully, seeing the footage of it now. We went up Mount Taranaki. So we went from Auckland down to Wellington. Big old road trip. It was a lot of fun. And, saw some friends on the way, got smashed with the said friends. And then had the hangover flight home, and that shit was ass. So still recovering a little bit now that I'm back at work. But I hope to see you on the next video. I think I'll cut it short there. A lot of fun. Not much else to tell you. If you ain't, go jump in the Discord down in the link below, because we post pet photos, and that's always fun. I posted like something about alpacas earlier because we saw alpacas while we were in Auckland. No, while we were in New Zealand. So yeah, jump in, put your own pet photo down there, and I'll see you when I see you in the next video. Peace.